Hello, I'm old Mr. Kent, 82 years old, on my morning e-trike ride. And as I promised in my last video, this one is going to be a little different. Now we got a little breeze. I hope that doesn't get picked up too much on the audio. And I'm taking a ride in a little different area, and I have a purpose for that. What I'll do in this video is to try to explain how music has been a part of my life, which I really didn't take it seriously throughout my life. But as I get older, I realize it was really in there the whole time. So let's get started. If you remember in the last video I talked about how my folks moved from the woods into downtown Seattle area and into a nice fancy house. And they also bought a nice new car. And I don't know if they were trying to keep up with my cousins. I call them my cousins. I don't know exactly how we were related, but it was some kind of relation. And it was like they were always trying to compete with that cousin. They had a boy my age, and they had a girl the age of my older sister. And so we spent a lot of time with them, going places with them and everything. So when they moved into the fancy house, then they bought a piano, a studio piano. It wasn't a big one or anything, but they bought that piano, and then they found a place where my sister and I could take piano lessons. And it was an older lady, and she was a sweetheart. I don't remember much except that I'd go to her house, and then she would give the lesson, and then I was supposed to go home and practice. And it was okay with me. I got home, and instead of practicing like I was supposed to, I just kind of sat there and looked out the window and watched the other kids play, and I didn't practice. So when they took me the next week, I hadn't learned much. And so that went on for about a month. And then finally my folks decided at 10 years old I wasn't cut out for playing the piano. And so that's how that went. And it was okay with me because I wasn't interested. So a couple of years went by, and no music, no nothing. And then I got into junior high, and I got my paper route, and I was mowing lawns, and I had money to spend. And so it was about that time, and I don't know exactly the dates or anything, but I'd go downtown and shop and spend money on things. And one of the things that I bought was a Jew's harp, and I'll put a picture up of a Jew's harp. I don't know why they call it that, but that's what it's called. And I would put it up to my mouth, and you kind of hum through it and buzz it, and it would make it wasn't a tune, it was more of a vibrating sound. But anyway, I got one of those and played with it. And then also, I bought an ocarina. Ocarina, I think is what it's called, and ocarino. Anyway, it was made out of the same material as a flower pot would be made out of, but it had a ceramic coating on it, so it was nice and smooth. And I actually played tunes on that. The songs that kids play and stuff like that. I don't remember what they were, but I played music on that, and I had that for quite a while, except my Aunt Chloe, who lived with us, she was my grandma's sister. She was dusting off the stuff in my bedroom one day, and she dropped it, and of course, it was porcelain, and so it broke. So I wasn't able to keep that very long. And then also, funny thing, I went down, and there must have been a music store. I don't remember exactly where it was or what it was, but I bought a harmonica, a little short harmonica, 8-hole harmonica, and I was playing it, and that was okay. I played that harmonica, but the only thing is it only had 8 holes, and the music part of me was, as you can tell, was beginning to come alive, and there were some songs that you couldn't play because it didn't have enough notes on it. It didn't have enough range to play a particular song. And so I went back down and I bought what's called a chromatic harmonica, and it's got like 16 holes or something. And the picture I have is just like the one that I bought back then. It was made by Honor, Honor, I think, and it was made in Germany. And it came in a wooden box that was covered with paper. It actually looked like a coffin. In fact, it was lined, and here's a picture of a harmonica that's in a box that's lined with that same material. When you open it up, it was just all lined with that, and so I actually learned to play the harmonica. Let's see, looks like we got, well, let's just go down this way. I actually learned to play the harmonica, and was, I could play the songs I wanted to play and stuff like that on my harmonica. And so I had an instrument that I could play the songs, the popular songs and things like that. So now I'm in junior high and I'm doing that kind of stuff. And then once I got music going inside of me, well, then I decided I'd sit down at the piano and play some of those songs. And so that's what I did. I started playing the piano by ear in the key of C. Go by this truck. And like when I was going to, let's see, this was when I was in junior high. So I think probably by the time I got into high school, I don't want to skip anything. By the time I got into high school, I was playing, and by the way, at that time, I had everything all kind of messed up because I was playing the melody with the left hand, and the rhythm with the right hand, and so I really wasn't doing it right, but I was playing music, and so that was and I actually enjoyed playing the piano then, but I wasn't reading music. I was just all playing by ear. And so that was my piano music. And then, let's see, we'll go over here. So I played that piano, and all the way up until when came time, the summer before I went to go to college. My family went down to California to visit, and we went to visit what would be a cousin, and one of the guys was playing a ukulele, and I thought, well, that looks like fun. And he was just walking around strumming on a ukulele, and I thought that would be kind of fun to do. So when we got back, and then I was leaving to go to college, my sister had a ukulele. She had no idea how to play it, my little sister. And so she said, well, you can take my ukulele to college with you if you want. And so that's what I did. And you've heard the story, if you've been following my channel, of how I learned to play it while I was in the dorm. And when I was supposed to be studying, when I was finished studying, well, then I would strum on the ukulele. And this one night I was with the roommate. I had the bottom bunk, and he had the top bunk, and he was studying, and I was all through studying, and I'm strumming away, and it was kind of irritating him because I was trying to learn how to play. And he said, don't you have any homework? Don't you have any homework? And I said, nope, got all mine done. And he said, how many hours are you taking? Of course, if you know the story, I had no idea what he was talking about. So he said, let's look. And so sure enough, when I'd signed up, I didn't know had to have 16 hours to graduate in 4 years. I thought you just graduated in 4 years. And so he pointed that out. So anyway, while I was in college, while I was in the dorm, a guy across the hall gave me a baritone ukulele, which I wasn't able to keep because I loaned it out and it got lost. But anyway, so I had a baritone ukulele, and that was a lot more a little bassy sound and much more enjoyable to play. And so, and then if you've been following my channel, you know that I went to California to work and was making money, and my I had money to spend, and so let's see, can I go this way? Well, I guess I better go this way, yeah. So I had money to spend, and went and bought me it's called a tenor guitar, I guess you'd say. It was a 4-string guitar, regular size guitar, but only 4 strings. That way I could play it real easy because I had a 4-string ukulele. So I got my guitar, and then of course while I was down there I bought a motorcycle, and basically my folks disowned me. And if you know the rest of the story, I was on my own. So let's see, here comes a car. I got to make sure I don't get run over here. And so I had that guitar, and then I was working on my own, and I had to find me a place to live and all that, goes along. If you've been following my channel, you know all about that. So so I was playing my guitar, and these 2 girls that were a couple years older than me, and they worked for the college, they invited me over every once in a while to play the guitar and sing in their apartment. And I went over there one time, and one of the girls had purchased a banjo for me. And so now I had a banjo to play. And of course, that was pretty special. And if you've been following my channel, you know that I married the other girl. And so now I had a banjo, and I was then, by the way, I got to stop right here. When I was before I get too far along, in fact, as before I got the banjo, I started out as a PE minor in college, and found out that I wasn't cut out to be a PE minor because there's 10 million PE minors, and trying to find a job with a PE minor, there's a lot of competition there. And so I just said, okay, I'll be a music minor. So in my sophomore year, I started taking piano, and I fall quarter, you took classroom piano. I got to tell you this story. I don't want to make this video too long, but so I took classroom piano, and as I got to the class early on the first day, and this kid came in as I was playing, and he sat down and he listened to me play, and I got through playing, and he said, "Is this piano 101? Good morning." And he said, "Is this piano 101? And I said, "Yeah," because he didn't know that I just played by ear in one key only. Anyway, he said that, and I said, "Yeah, piano 101. He says, "Oh, I'm in the wrong class." And the poor kid got up and walked out. And I don't know whatever happened to him. But anyway, so he didn't end up taking piano. So, and then second quarter was classroom piano, and then third quarter, I was in my third quarter instructor. It was in his office at a grand piano, and he was a really super good instructor. He had me composing music. He had me writing score. Oh, yeah, he was a good one. So when it came time for now, some of these stories I've already told, but if I'm going to do a video on my life of music, I got to tell these stories. So anyway, so he had me memorize two pieces and that play those for my final test. What I didn't know was when I came in to play on the final test that he had one of the college board members come and listen to me. I don't know why, except that he must have thought that maybe I was a special case or something. I don't know. Anyway, so I came in, and it was this older lady, and she was all dressed up like she was going to go to church or something. And so he introduced us, and I sat down. I played the first piece. When I got through playing, she clapped, and and then I played the second piece, and when I got through, she clapped, and of course I was an industrial arts major. I was going to be a shop teacher, okay? And so he turns and he looks at her and he says, "That's pretty good for a shop teacher, isn't it?" And she said, "He's not a music major?" And the instructor said, "No, he's a shop teacher major." That would be an industrial arts major. He said, "No, he's an industrial arts major." And she said, "Well, what?" And he said, "He's a music minor." And she said, "This college does not have a minor in music." I don't know if it was a setup or what, but they wanted me to become a music major because of my musical ability. And see, the thing is, when my folks took me to have that lady teach me how to piano when I was 10 years old, you would never have guessed that I would be sitting in that office with people telling me I should become a music major. But it was built in. It just hadn't blossomed, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so I went through that, but I didn't become a music major. I could have, and who knows which direction my life would have gone. Might have gone downhill. Anyway, so I had my banjo, and when in Bellingham, Washington, that's where I was going to school, and downtown Bellingham, they had a Shakey's Pizza Parlor, and my wife and I, we would go there on Saturday night, and they would have a banjo player sitting on top of the piano, and a piano player, and they'd be playing just really nice, fun to listen to music, and we'd sing along. Everybody would sing along, and it was just fun. We went there a couple of times, and then I graduated, and I got a job in Pasco, Washington. That's in the southeast corner of Washington. And so we decided that there was a Shakey's Pizza Parlor there. And so we thought, well, let's go out on Saturday night and go to Shakey's Pizza. So we found it, and it was in a modern building. It wasn't in an old building like the one up in Bellingham. And we found it, and we went, and there wasn't anybody there. We were the only customers. And the guy came out, and there was no piano, no banjo player. The guy came out to wait on us, and I said, do you have music or anything? And he said, "No, can't find a banjo player." And so I said, "I play banjo." So as it turned out, me and an old guy named Leo Payne. We got together, and me and Leo practiced, and they set us up with the piano, and I'd sit on top of the piano, and he got a whole bunch of leaflet songbooks with all the old songs that everybody liked to sing back then, and we started playing Friday night and Saturday night. I made $12 a night doing that. And it wasn't long until literally the place was packed every Friday and Saturday night. And so we made a difference for that guy's business anyway. And so anyway, but at the end of the first year, I had to go back to summer school to work on my master's degree. So I had to quit that job. And so then when I got back, well, then there was this guy that, I don't know how we got together, but he lived up in Richland. There's 3 cities there, Richland, Pasco, and Kennewick. It's called the Tri-Cities. And he was a school teacher in Richland. And however we got together, I don't know. But he and I would get together on Tuesday nights and just practice and just sing songs together. And then every once in a while, we'd find a gig somewhere, and we'd go and sing for whatever was going on somewhere. And so that was what we did. And so then I quit teaching, and let me think now. Yeah, then I quit teaching and went to work at that Christian radio station. If you've been following my channel, you know that I went to work for a Christian radio station. I was the chief engineer, and at the same time, I taught in the Sunday school on Sunday mornings. I taught in the gymnasium. I got a picture of that too, if I can dig it out somewhere. And it was a big church, and they had 20 Sunday school buses, and they'd send them out, pick up kids. And it varied, but anyway, I had between 80 and well over 100 boys and girls every Sunday. And I'd teach them, but I also played the banjo, and I wrote up songs and teach them songs. And going by a construction area here, I'll just speed up so we get by faster. But anyway, I wrote songs and sung and entertained them, and then preached to them, and taught them a lot of fun things, and so that was a fun time that I used my banjo for that, and we'll get by all this. I forgot I would be going by all this if I took this route. This is a little different route than I normally take, like I said. So anyway, by the way, all this time, I had kept that old harmonica and pull it out every once in a while and play it. And but I kept my banjo, and I always had a 4-string guitar around too. And so then let's see here. I left the radio station, went up to Spokane, got a job doing teaching computers. I got a different job doing tech support for Microsoft. Good morning. And just went through a bunch of jobs and played my banjo off and on. I used it to every church I went to. I usually end up teaching the kids and playing my banjo, and teaching them songs and stuff like that. So, but in the meantime, my old original chromatic harmonica ended up going out with the trash. It got so old that the little tip on the end came loose, and I had to resolder it. And so I'm going to try to get into this little park up here. I don't know if I can or not. Okay. I'm sorry about going to the wrong part. And shouldn't have let that happen. But poor planning on my part. So first thing I have to do, well, let's just do this. I got a runny nose. So what I did is I went out. My wife says, "You spent that much on a harmonica?" And yeah, because to me, I got all that music inside of me, and I enjoy music. So she understood. She understands now anyway. So I'll put this in my pocket, and I'll get this out. Now, I don't play well, okay? So don't expect much, because I haven't played this for several weeks before I decided to do this. But how else should I end a music video, huh? So here we go. And by the way, you don't play one of these if you haven't had a good breakfast, especially if you maybe at a place like Tiffany's. Okay, couple of mistakes, several mistakes actually. I want to thank you for watching my video, and God bless.